welcome to John's Model Making. Thanks for tuning in. A little bit later this month than usual for my channel update, but I did have a lot of deliveries at the beginning of the month, especially with the Titanic. I had to do 4 videos of that. They're all up on the channel, as you already know. And next week we should get the next 4. Ooh, penultimate pack. Brilliant, can't wait for it. I've had lots of advice from people about, or tips and advice anyway, about the Titanic, so it's a massive thank you to everybody involved. Also, this month you saw the new build, the Ford Falcon. I actually did find a tool that will help us with the tyre, the challenge of the tyre. And this is it. It's a Spudger. Yes, word of the day. Spudger. Use these tools for getting into mobile phones. I forgot I had this actually, and I couldn't find anything, so I ended up using a screwdriver because it was quite a toughie, that tyre. It's the hardest one I've ever come across anyway, getting the actual rubber on. But yeah, I found this afterwards. I knew I had it somewhere, but yeah, a Spudger. Brilliant. So I'll be using that next time round. I'll put it with the actual build. Now, I've also been working on my wooden Lancaster bomber. Here's my little man. There he is. There's our pilot. I'll just give you a close-up. There he is. There's our pilot. Yeah, it's larger than the actual die-cast Hachette versions at the moment. But yeah, he's looking pretty cool. He was in separate pieces. It wasn't one complete piece. It was plastic as well. Oh, it is plastic, not resin. Well, that's our pilot. Excellent. And also, I've been working on the Bombay doors. That is one of them. Been primed. I've had to modify this hinge as well, because no matter which way I put it, it just didn't work for me. I could have left that off actually, but then again there might have been too much strain on the outer ones. So basically I modified it. I cut it down and then resoldered it. So I did a little bit of soldering, and you'll see that in the video when it comes up. But this is the first one. There's 36 panels on this. Obviously that's the top part. There is no riveting for any of the panels, and that's the inner. And as you can see, yeah, the shape of it. Yeah, I used to use a pen to get that shape, but that's looking cool. The other one, which is here, there we go. That's been put together, but it does need the actual skin section. And again, this hinge, you can see it there. I have resoldered that because when I put this on, this hinge stops it from operating properly. But yeah, closing and shutting, just too much of an obstruction. Bit weird really, but then again, it should be fine now anyway. I have tested them and they're operating great. So anyway, that's the S for Sugar. She's here, the little beauty. There she is, looking cool. She's had a satin varnish finish in certain places. There we go. Obviously it's still work in progress, but I am working on the Bombay obviously. And I think I'll put that other side panel on as well for the cockpit. It's just strengthening it up on that side actually. But yeah, so that is S for Sugar. I was going to try and get the video out for next week, but I'm not sure if I can, because actually putting the skin sections on this piece probably take me a couple of days, because that one did. It's quite intense really. I've got to find a quicker way of doing it, but obviously it's about quality, not quantity. But yeah, there's our little man again. He looks brilliant. Just as a comparison, this is one of the resin ones I got from Tory factory, and I'll show you. This is a 132 scale. I'll show you the difference between the two. There we go. Both claim to be 132 scale, but as you can see, massive difference. That will fit into the die-cast version, what we're doing at the moment of the Lancaster. That one won't, it's far too big. But then again, his seat is big as well, so he fits in the wooden one, no problem. And he, I'm hoping, will fit in the rear turret, because his little friend is in the front turret. And you can see the size of it, and it fits perfect. It's a bit odd really how they made that so big. I would imagine that is out of scale rather than this one, to be honest. Well, there we go. As for other builds, the Lancaster bomber, yeah, issues 33 to 36 should be with me next week, but I don't know whether I'll get it on the channel or not, because it usually comes after the Titanic. The Titanic came earlier this month, It came on a Wednesday. I usually get it on a Thursday or Friday. So hopefully if that comes Wednesday, I'll get all 4 videos out. I know we got stickers and we got water decals for the shear line. I didn't know we were getting the stickers for the inside of the hull, which is great. So I'm hoping that it matches the paint colour that I have already painted, you know, around the cratons and the hatches. If not, I might just paint it and then stick it on and see how we go from there. Because otherwise it'll look a bit silly, won't it, really? But yeah, that's the Titanic. So like I said, next week 4 separate videos, 1 for each one. And I've had a look at, I think it was 135, and that is very interesting because it's the rudder and it's got the hinges on it as well. So obviously with it has hinges on it, but yeah, we get the rudder to pop into place, so that'll look fantastic. Railings and more of those screw eyes, I believe, as well. So that is fantastic as well. Also, Night Rider, that I've put out this past week, a couple of days ago. That is the penultimate pack. I'm expecting the last pack in a couple of weeks' time. That's already been processed, as is the 66 Batmobile. I know somebody's already got those 66 Batmobile, so I'll be checking my account later, because it did say that there was going to be a delay with it, but it did that last month, and it still came through on time. But I'm not one of the first that gets it each month. I've noticed that other people get it, and then a few days later I get mine. You know, that's fine and bonny and everything. That is the beauty about signing up really early. It's same as if you do a test run. If you sign up for a test run, you'll get your subscription quicker than anybody else, basically. You know, it's just the way it is. It's like first come, first served. Also, talking about test runs, there's the legendary DB5 from Hachette, 1/6 scale. They've had a test run in Cardiff. I'm not sure if it's actually finished yet, but if you actually go to the website, and I'll put it in the description as well as on the screen, register your interest. It will show up on your account, and if they do release it somewhere in the future, you usually get not just one, but one and two free for signing up for the test run. Even though you don't do anything else and you've not really seen the test run, you're involved in the test run, and they're grateful for that. It was the same as the Ford Falcon, again up on the screen as well as in the description for the Ford Falcon. And if you did sign up for the test run for that back about a year ago, I think it was now, you get the first 3 issues free. So whenever you see a test run, or you ever hear of one and you see the microsite, pop in, put your details in. They don't take any money off you, but it'll register in your account. If you've not already got an account, you can make an account. A day or so later, it'll be there. They won't take any money because it's just a test run, but they're registering your interest and then deciding later whether to release it or not. And if they do release it, you'll get an extra issue free. That's how it usually works anyway. But with a Ford Falcon, you're going to get 3 if you did sign up for the test run. Now, next dispatch for me for the Ford Falcon is the 4th of October. So I'll be expecting that within the first week. It came rapid this month, but well, it was last week actually. It came on Wednesday, but I was away on holiday for a few days, so I didn't get it done until the weekend. Yeah, next issues, yeah, I should get up on the channel pretty quickly. So that's the Ford Falcon and the legendary DB5 1/6 scale. Also, there's the Agora DB5. Have you seen the Agora one? £25,000. Not bad, eh? And then you've got to pay somebody to actually build it, if you want to, unless you build it yourself. I can't ever see me touching it, never mind even smelling one at 25 grand. Does look beautiful, but 25 grand, only 7 available. See how quickly they go. But anyway, yeah, so that's the 1/6 scale DB5 from Hachette. That would be brilliant. Be a monster, I must admit. Other than that, there's the normal routine of the Batmobile tumbler. That will come from Hachette. I think that's 2 or 3 weeks off. But the Night Rider, last pack for next month. It'll be brilliant. Can't wait to get that done. Hopefully I've not got a cabling issue. But yeah, I've got a car up here. Well, I've got the chassis here and the bodywork down here. But yeah, it'll look fantastic. I know people have actually been in contact with me asking if there's been any delays. Unfortunately, if you're late into a distribution, if you're late into a subscription, you will find delays later on. It's just the way of the world. You know, they've probably exhausted the stock and then they've got to wait for more to come in. I know sometimes it's very frustrating and you can cancel it, but then you've lost all that money. So it's best just being patient and just wait and see what happens. But yeah, that's it's the norm, unfortunately. But other than that, that is it. I'm going to carry on now with the with my wooden Lancaster bomber. I have been doing a lot more painting where it's concerned. I've even painted the underside of the wings. There you go. It's had a satin varnish finish as well. Obviously I've covered up the nails. The top part, that needs brown doing on it. Luckily, with it being so warm, it's really setting well, all this paint. I just stick it in window, bake it, and it goes, hopefully goes hard as nails and doesn't chip. Also been doing the tail wings. There we go. That's had a prime yesterday, but it does need painting as well as. But we're getting there, There's a lot to do in these last 3 or 4 stages, a heck of a lot. And I also did get some decals for it because I needed a red stripe for under the front turret. So under the front turret here is a red stripe. I think it goes there. Let's have a look. In the instructions they want it painted, but with it not being a smooth surface, obviously, because all these aluminium panels, I was afraid of it running basically and overspray and all that. So I thought, well, a decal, and I have been advised that the decals I've got, because they're about 12, 13-year-old, they might be no good anyway. So I've just got some general Avro Lancaster decals. Got it from Kit's World. I'll pop that in this description as well as. They weren't that expensive, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, so that is it for this month. I think we're caught up now. Hopefully I'll get stage 122 of this Lancaster bomber on my channel on Monday, but don't count on it because it took me forever and a day just to do this bomber door and to sort that hinge out. You know, I was pulling my hair out doing that because I'd already modified it, and then when I come to fit it again after putting the skin section on, it just caused me a problem. And it's not because of the skin sections, it's just because I hadn't noticed it before, basically. Because you're supposed to glue each one onto the aircraft, and it was difficult getting it in position. But it's fine now I've modified it. God knows how I would have got on before with it, because it wouldn't, can't remember if it wasn't shut or it wasn't open before, but it wasn't right anyway. But it should be perfectly alright now. And like I said, I've already modified the other one, but I'm rambling on because I've told you all this before. Anyway, there we go. That is it for this month. Again, sorry I'm late with the channel update. It's usually at the beginning of the month, but I did get a glut of deliveries. And now that I'm working just on the wooden Lancaster, I thought I'd let you know what's been going on. But there we go. Thanks for tuning in and watching. If you did like that, you do like my channel and you love the videos, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you soon. Thanks again, stay safe, bye for now.